thanks for joining me today. I'm Brandon, and today we're going to be talking about RV internet and why Starlink, especially with the changes that are coming up, may not be the best option, why we never got Starlink, and what we use instead. Now then, Starlink has been all of the rage for RVers for the past year because when Starlink first came out, it was residential only, but a few people were hacking the system and able to take it out on the road with them. And then Starlink offered their portability package. So for like $30 a month, you could add that package and take your Starlink on the road with you. And then out of the blue, they added the RV only package, which I think is a fantastic option in the sense of you could turn it on and turn it off month by month. You weren't paying the monthly charge if you weren't out on the road. So it was perfect for RVers. Now then, all the big YouTubers, they all got Starlink. They were all singing its praise when it first came out because the speeds were incredible because not that many people were using it. But as more and more people started using it, well, guess what? Those speeds do slow down, and many of those YouTubers have really backed off of their Starlink praise. Now then, so let's talk about the changes that Starlink just enacted. I believe they go into effect in April. They've upped the price of the RV internet to $150. And on top of that, you have to pay $599 for the portable satellite, or if you want the one that mounts on your roof, that is $2,500. So a little bit of an investment in hardware, and then of course $150 per month. Now what else they're doing is for new customers, if you join their residential, you no longer have that portability option to be able to take it with you out on the road. And so if you want Starlink in your RV as well as Starlink at your house, you either have to get that $150 RV internet or plan that is deprioritized from residential as well as is more expensive. So no longer can you get residential and take it out on the road for you. Now then, they haven't said whether they're going to, existing people who have that portability option on their residential. They haven't said whether that will be taken away yet, whether it will be grandfathered. I doubt it, though. The way that Starlink makes so many changes and everything, I think they're really wanting an RV plan or a residential plan. Now then, I do believe Starlink is the future. I don't want to sound like it's a terrible thing. I think it's an absolutely amazing thing. And so if you think about the iPhone back when it came out in 2007.
And we are calling it iPhone.
I mean, you could barely use the thing, right? But fast forward to today, I mean, you got the world at your fingertips, and my iPhone is more powerful than every computer that ever existed combined back, 30, 40 years ago, right? So I do believe that Starlink will make some significant changes as new versions of satellites go up, more coverage comes up. So I do believe Starlink is an amazing thing. Now then, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it in any time in the future because what I have right now works perfectly fine. And I get my internet on the road with a company called Epic Off Grid. Now, Epic Off Grid, they make their own routers and they offer an unlimited Verizon plan that can actually be turned off for 3 months at a time with just a small maintenance fee. So I pay $500 for my router, which is a little bit more expensive of a hardware cost than some of the other, but it is way more powerful than, say, the little jetpacks that you can get from Verizon or AT&T. Now then, but where you're saving some is their monthly package that they offer. I pay $69 a month for unlimited Verizon. And when I say unlimited, it is unlimited. However, video can be throttled. Not all the way off, but just throttled from like 720 HD to 480. But in our Airstream and in our leisure travel van, they put in, kind of cheap TVs anyway. They're not 4K, so I don't think you could tell a difference anyway. And I'm not out there to watch, Avatar in full 4K, right? No, we're just using it for a little bit of entertainment during downtime. So I think it's perfectly fine. They do have a little bit of an upgraded plan that you can get for some dedicated video prioritization, I personally don't think you need that. The $69 plan has been fine for us, and we have used it all over the country, and it works flawlessly. Verizon is one of the best coverages, and so you do have that. Now then, the way that I combat that, if we are in a low Verizon area, I do have my iPhone, which is AT&T, and so we can use this. Now then, you can use this as a hotspot as well. I think on our plan, we get a 100 gigabytes per phone of hotspot use, but it's still unlimited if you're not hotspotting, right? And so we use Apple TV for our main television. Just let me talk about that for a second. Our Airstream Globetrotter, we have 2 televisions. Our Leisure Travel Van Unity FX, we have 2 televisions. But if you have an Apple TV, you can only watch one thing at a time. And so I recently got an Amazon Fire Stick, which is pretty cool, that I put on one of the back TVs. So if one of us wants to watch something different, which is generally all the time, by the way, then we have 2 different internet sources. Apple TVs are a little bit expensive. The Amazon Fire Sticks are super cheap. Clunky interface, hard to use a little bit, but cheap. Apple TV, expensive, but awesome. I love Apple TV. That's for a whole nother video. Anyway, so if you're looking at some great internet, you're wanting some unlimited Verizon with a company with stellar customer service, Epic Off-Grid is fantastic. Just about everybody that I've referred Epic Off-Grid to, they always email me saying the customer service is fantastic. And so if you have any troubleshooting, anything like that, because it is tech, sometimes it is a little difficult in some situations to figure out setting things up, getting the best signal. And so they just say Epic Off-Grid just was fantastic. Quick response with some great answers and super nice. That's a big deal. Are you going to get that with your hotspot from Verizon? Probably not. Are you going to get that with Starlink? I have no clue. Are you going to get that with Nomad? I don't know. But I do know with Epic Off-Grid, great customer service, good reliability, a good product. And, so far it has been fantastic. And so if you're wanting to look at Epic Off-Grid, I'll put a link to them down below. And they have given me a discount code to give to you as well. So you can have a little bit of savings. But with that being said, Starlink will be in our future, I do believe, because I did get an email from Micah at Epic Off-Grid. They actually have a new router that is dual SIM. It's a little more expensive even than the router that I have. But guess what? They're going to make it work with Starlink as well. So it's something that you could plug in your Starlink. You could have a SIM card in, and then you could have whichever one's better. If Starlink's working great, use a Starlink. If you're under some trees or you're in a highly congested area, kick on the Verizon Unlimited, and they're going to have a T-Mobile plan as well soon as well. So the future is really, really, really bright at Epic Off-Grid too. They've got some good stuff coming down the pike, even a version 2 of the router I have. Really looking forward to that. Again, if you're interested in this at all, check that out. Nomad is another company. And then there's basically Verizon or AT&T all have their little jet packs and things like that. So figure out the one that works for you. Epic works for us, and I'm really looking forward to someday getting Starlink, but just not now. Now then, if you're first time on the channel, you're interested in stuff like this, we will be talking about more of the Apple TV, that Fire Stick. I'm going to review that as well. So if you're interested in that and want to see that, be sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Also give me a old thumbs up. Really makes me feel good when I see all of those likes on the channel. So anyway, really appreciate that. Spring is here. We're going to be getting out on the road soon. We've got a great leisure travel van trip coming up to Florida next month. Then we're going to be taking the Airstream out as well in the coming months. And so we've got some great content planned. So be sure you look forward to that. But with that being said, we will see you next time.